So in this third video of my little mini-series, looking at theory, basic theory, using the keyboard as an aid, I'm proceeding to the major scale. A major scale is a very familiar pattern, and a lot of people find it complex, but it's not as complex as it looks. So that's the sound of a major scale. And you heard it possibly a million times in pieces and also people practicing it. And the idea is to build it, you need two basic rules. And the first one is about letter names. You start off from C, for example, and you proceed through the whole musical alphabet, which goes up to G, and start over from A, and you end up with the same note you started from. So C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. And that's the C major scale. That's rule number one. Now, this particular scale has only white keys in it, so it's perfect for explaining the next rule, which is about tones and semitones. So if I look, if you don't know what tones and semitones are, you have to go to the previous video, which is number 2 in the series, explaining about exactly that. So looking at the distance between a C and a D, that's a tone. This is another tone. This is a semitone, tone, 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 and semitone. And to remember the order, or to remember it at all, it's best to give numbers instead of names, so to the notes. So instead of C, I say this is number 1. Number 1 to 2 is a tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone. And if you followed me now in this repeat, I've only said semitone twice. Here's a semitone, and here's another. So in terms of numbers, they are between the notes number 3 and 4, and the other one is between 7 and 8. And that is the only thing you have to remember, really. Letter names follow one another, and in terms of tones and semitones, 8 different notes, and between 3 and 4 and 7 and 8 are semitones. Otherwise, it's whole tone steps. So now let's apply that when we change note number 1, and we're starting from F, and this is going to become the F major scale. First rule, letter names: F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F. That's the order of letter names. And now I can check up whether the tones and semitones fit. And you might remember that each letter name comes with 2 alterations. So we can have an F sharp and an F flat. We can have a G sharp, G flat. Every letter name has these 2 possible notes. Also named F, for example. F sharp is to the right of F, and F flat is to the left of F. It's always the nearest key, so it could be a white key in some rarer but possible circumstances. So let's start back. F is our key, so obviously we're using the F exactly, not any other version of it. A tone takes me up to G, another takes me up to A. This is note number 3. We want a semitone next. A semitone is here. Semitone up is here. We had A. This note has to be called B. If we call this note B something, we look at the B natural, the actual white key called B, and this is the B flat. So we have to call this B flat. A tone up from B flat is C. The next one, tone up, takes me to D, a tone to E. Now this is number 7, and a semitone up is actually the right step to take me back to our starting note, which was F. So F major goes like that. F, G, A, B flat, C, D, E, F. And that is, according to the pattern, the right pattern. It sounds right as well. So let's do it, apply it one more time to G major, a common key as well. Now my numbers always apply to the key note is number 1, and the others follow in order. So we have G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G as template letter names. And now we can see which ones we might have to change to make it work for the major scale. G, tone up is A, tone up is B. Perfect so far. Semitone is next. B to C is already a semitone. Perfect again. Tone to D, tone to E. The next note has to be called F something, but F is only a semitone away. But E is number 6, so we need to go a whole tone up to that note. Having that as an F, this one's called F sharp, which is a semitone from G, so 7 and 8. And so the whole thing goes like that. G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G. And you can start just about anywhere and follow that pattern, and you always get the same major scale. 2 more terms. I already mentioned key note, which is where we start and we name the scale after that note. And the other one is the leading note. And I just play you the G major again, and I finish on the 7th note. And I hope, and I think you might think, oh, this really has to go and be resolved in this way. So the leading note is just before we get back to the key note, and number 7 to 8, and it's very close, and it has that pull effect to want to resolve at the key note again.